what's up? What's it doing? Hey, I'm bumping into the mic. It's all good. My name is Sean Ashcraft. Here, hold up. I gotta get the glare out of my eyes. Hey, you can see my face now. It's great. So today we're going to be talking about the most recent mix of Aquawizard, and you might be noticing plenty of drop out. Oh, I've been watching this like guy on YouTube, and he's got like kind of a Wisconsin accent. And you know how us Midwesterners are. We just start picking up accents the more we live around or are associated with an area. So like he bumps into the microphone a lot, and he talks with a kind of a Wisconsin, no, kind of a Minnesotan accent, a Minnesota person. So anyway, you know how it goes. So anyway, we're going to be discussing some important things today. I'm on my computer. I've got things open. We're going to be talking about the most recent mix. So I think what I'm going to do is just go ahead and play the mix. I'm going to switch over to Logic. I didn't really prep this very well, but I'm going to attempt to load Logic. I'm going to fill for time here. Meanwhile, we've got Final Fantasy VI in the background. In North America, it's Final Fantasy III. But what I've heard is that Final Fantasy VI is the official canon order. So this was on the Super Nintendo, and then Final Fantasy VII came out on the PlayStation. So that's the reason why it went from like this game, which is pretty cool, for the Super Nintendo. It's like, y'all did a pretty cool job, I'm not gonna lie. But then when the PlayStation Final Fantasy VII came out, that was, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It was awesome. PlayStation, Super Nintendo. So you had like the NES, Super Nintendo. Logic Pro is still loading, so I'm just kind of filling for time. Yeah. Atari. You had the arcade, which was like, really good. Anyway, Logic has loaded, so I'm going to stop with that. I still have to load the session, so we're... all I'm saying is that Final Fantasy VII, like that numbering system, they went from Final Fantasy III in North America. They went from Final Fantasy III, which is what we've got going on in the background, to Final Fantasy VII. You might be like, why did they do that? Now you know. So, oh my gosh. So I guess when I try to do my key combination that I like on OBS, it does something weird on Logic. So I'm gonna open up some stuff. Okay. All right. I think it's doing what I think it's doing. Don't look at my Spotify. I meant to close that for sure. But yeah, let's check out the most recent mix. And I decided what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let that loop in the background. What I'm going to do is play the mix down, and then I'll talk about the mix while the mix down is playing. That way my computer doesn't crash in the middle of a recording. So let's check out the music. All right, here we go.
1, 2,
here, how about we do this? Let's
3, 4.
Alright. I control the volume from here. Yes, I can. I think. I'm just gonna duck this down. So what I've done in the latest mix is I have overdubbed. So here's Sean, guitar lead dub. And the other thing I've done is I've done a little bit of automation, not a whole lot of automation, but just enough automation on the vocals so that they're kind of at the right spot. You know what I mean? I'm trying to see what all I did. Yeah, I didn't have to do a whole lot of automation on the vocals. Let's check out the new guitar parts that I dubbed in. I did a little bit of automation here, but not a lot. So here, this just kind of mixes itself because the vocals, or sorry, now that I dubbed in the lead guitar part, it will mix itself so that, like, okay, so the thing that's in focus in terms of like the melody thing you're listening to is the lead guitar, then it's the vocals, which I bump up here just like a little bit in automation. And then as soon as the vocals stop, that's when the next lead dub comes in. There you go. Let's just give this a listen for a little while. By the way, this episode of Coffee and Cats is brought to you by Peach. Peach. The beer that I'm drinking. I don't want to get into like the whole like fake sponsorship thing, but this Peach beer that I've had a couple so far, this peach beer is called Peach. And so I'll just leave it at that. If you are feeling a peach, it actually is not too peachy of a beer, but it's a sour beer, so it's kind of that weird kind of soury part. So I did add an extra guitar part right here that's ducked down just a little bit. Let me turn this up so you can hear it here. So yeah, we got that part, and then goes back to the lead here. I went ahead and did lead dubs for the entire EP. Anytime that I don't sing, but there is supposed to be some sort of guitar thing, I went ahead and dubbed that in. Except here, I didn't dub this. This is just Brad. So as you can see, I did a little bit of editing on Brad, especially that song, just to make sure you got the right notes and stuff, but Coralline this is all Brad, I think. Maybe I did some edits on a previous session and this is old tape of that, but yeah, so we got the lead dub here. That was pretty easy to dub in, and then yeah, just all kind of mixes itself. By the way, the artwork here, if you ever kind of wondered about that, I don't know if anybody wonders anything, but yeah, we just had the original 2012 or whenever it was Aquawizard EP, and then I made like this guy here. I made this kind of like funky recolored version of it, like a negative almost, and then added top secret demo, and then I don't know. Yeah, I like to name different demo things by different words that start with demo, like demon, and just shit like that, but But then this one is a different mix, so I decided to add a different recoloration of this negative, so I think I had a different color. Oh, I had this one that's kind of more purple and pink. It's like a negative of the negative. And then this one is a negative of the negative of the negative. So each iteration is more lo-fi, more derivative, more loss of fidelity. but I think you kind of get more of the essence of what is going on because you can still see the form of the Aquawizard face, the owl. It becomes more abstract, like you can't see the logo anymore. You can barely make out the unicorns that are running in the background, which is in in the Aquawizard beard for some reason. But you can see this crescent moon here. So you can just start to see like the elemental forms. You can kind of see like almost like a face over here. So the more derivative it becomes, the more elemental it also becomes. So I think that's something that it's worth. Oh, so this little breakdown part here I like. I like what Andrew's doing on the bass. I really like what Andrew does there. Let me see if I can load up the next session. There wasn't really much else to mention on the session there. Peppermint Wind. Coming up next, we got Peppermint Wind. Okay, so on this one, I know that we had the suggestion to have the violin noodles added back in, but trust me, it's more noise than it is anything else, so... oh, it is turned down just a wee bit there. Okay. You may have heard at the very beginning, I have a new, longer guitar backwards reverb tail thing, starting the song off, and it's a little bit longer, it's a little bit more prominent in the mix, which I like. Let's just skim ahead here. I did a lot of fixing on the vocals to get like the timing lined up, because when I sing it live, I'll just be honest, occasionally I would sing things out of time, so and when I say live, I was actually dubbed in Aquawizard Southeast Vocal Dubbing Studio 2. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. This should be like definitely the best vocals we have so far. Where are we at? I can't really even tell. Yeah, there's quite a bit of, not a lot. It's just like a couple parts where I just had to make sure Brad's guitar was the right note, so I maybe like retuned it or something like that. Okay, we gotta be somewhere like, oh, way past this part. Maybe here? But yeah, I just had to like do a lot of rhythm fixing. So this is just like classic, like, you know, you could do this back in the day with tape and stuff. I did also do I did a lead dub here, just to give something like more presence in the mix. And then here are the vocals. Just a little bit of rhythm editing, really. not everything is like perfectly in time, or I'm sorry, not everything is perfectly in tune, but it's much more close in time. And a bit of automation going on here, especially earlier, just to like differentiate between here are the, you know, main lyrics, here are like background vocals, like it all mixes together. So I guess a little bit on the mix. Something that I'm kind of a challenge I've run into are actually the guitars, because what I did is I recorded these with speaker simulators, like recording into the program. So that means you record the sound of the speaker simulator, so it's gonna sound like that. Let me load up No Sharkfins during the intermission here and explain what I'm talking about. So, yeah, having an amp simulator means it basically is gonna... So when you don't have an amplifier, the sound that comes straight off your guitar is like this really... It's simultaneously bright, but also dull sounding. It just doesn't sound right. So an amplifier does a good job at like scooping those frequencies to sound a certain way, and then it sounds good. So if you have one amp simulator, and then you have another amp simulator on top of that, it's gonna sound a little bit weird. So that's basically what I've had going on. I've had to like do some EQ stuff. It's made it sound weird, but at the same time, it actually sounds more clear than it usually does, because I usually just record the direct sound and then try to like mix it later. But that's not how you usually record guitar. You usually like have this like super loud guitar sound, put like a microphone in front of it, and then process that sound. So like directly plugging in, emulating an amplifier sound, and then processing it. It's just a little bit different sounding. So, and then what we did was like amplifier simulator directly into another amplifier simulator, into processing. It never really has like a real, other than the second amp simulator has like a little bit of like a room sound. So I like trying to like mix all that in. But anyway, with No Sharkfins, there's really not a whole lot going on this one. I added a dub for the lead guitar. I think that makes the end sound a little bit better, and it also makes the melody at the beginning and middle just like gel out a little bit better. This one just kind of mixes itself, to be honest, or I just haven't really worked on it as much as the other ones. I'm not really sure. Here's some older vocals that we actually released publicly on the music video. That's the same vocals that we have on that. So, but yeah, I kind of like this, like, it's almost like a, I don't know if Dinosaur Jr. really did the double guitar solo thing very much, but sometimes you'd have like a somewhat complicated guitar part and, you know, guitar solo on top, or maybe like a melody and a guitar solo on top. So that's kind of what's going on here. So anyway, I'm just gonna let this play out at relatively full volume. And I like how we end on that like suspenseful chord. So far with all these mixes, I just have all of the tail out. So I just have like all the sound. I didn't really like trim it off very much. I do a little bit of trimming, especially if it's like noisy, but if it's not noisy, just kind of leaving it in. And sometimes what I would do on the keyboards especially is just kind of like, boom, I'll just play a few extra notes at the end. So Anyway, that's kind of all I wanted to preview here, just because there's not a whole lot of changes from the last one, mostly just lead, guitar dubs, maybe a little bit of vocal editing, not on this song, but on the other song. So other than that, pretty much the same dealio. So thanks for watching this. A little bit of you know what I'm saying. Gosh, I keep hitting the wrong, like, whatever the hell I'm doing here. You know what I'm saying. You know how it is. Okay. Let me get rid of my preview. You know, I'm gonna close Logic, so bear with me while my frame rate is low. But there, I've closed Logic. There's nothing else really going on. That's it. Have a good day. I've been trying to... Maybe about 10% of the time, I've been focused on trying to get my chair out of the way of you being able to see Final Fantasy VI, but it's just the same title sequence that I've had running in the background, so whatever. Yeah, I think we're getting like closer and closer to the final version, maybe like a few tweaks here and there, maybe like a dub or two, and then I think we've got it. So that's it for the progress update. Aquawizard 2024, 2025. Sayonara. Peace be with thee. I think if I... Okay, on one camera, if I am this way, it's a good view, but if I'm this way, then the other camera has a good view. So it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to stop recording. Goodbye now. Bye.